Jadish Singh asks, in the Gospel, Sri Ramakrishna says to Swami Vivekananda, you think you are a jnana, but in reality you are a bhakta. You think I am a bhakta, but in reality I am a jnani. What did he mean by this? Are bhakti and jnana two sides of the same coin? You have also said that between bhakti and jnana, bhakti is greater, but there is nothing higher or lower in jnani. Can you please explain? And we have a similar question from Deepti Thakur. Swamiji, you mentioned that jnana yoga is the highest form of yoga, whereas in the Bhagavad Gita, Sri Krishna states that bhakti yoga is the highest. Can you explain?
All right, age-old quarrel between the way of knowledge and way of devotion. So the first quote, which he gives from in the Gospel, actually that's not quite right. He says, Sri Ramakrishna said to Vivekananda, but that's not true. That it's not there in the Gospel. It is actually Vivekananda himself who said that you think I am a jnani, but I am all love inside. And the old man, he was bhakti on the outside, inside he was all jnana. That old man means Sri Ramakrishna. So that's a quote from Vivekananda. But anyway, the point is correct. Whatever has been asked in the question, the point is correct, that we think of Sri Ramakrishna, and with good reason. If you see the Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna, if you read the life of Sri Ramakrishna, he is a devotee. He is a child of the mother, divine mother, Kali. For him, God was mother. And he always had the attitude of a child to the mother with regard to God. So we have solid grounds for thinking of Sri Ramakrishna as a devotee, as a lover of God, as a bhakta. And if you see the teachings of Sri Ramakrishna in the Kathamrita, the Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna, it is predominantly bhakti, and he often recommends bhakti very in no uncertain terms. On the other hand, Vivekananda, especially his talks here in the West and also in India, predominantly Vedanta, and his life and his teachings from Sri Ramakrishna predominantly a path of knowledge, realization of who am I am that limitless Brahman. But here Vivekananda says, it's only what you're seeing is the surface. On the outside, Sri Ramakrishna is bhakti, inside he is all jnana. On the outside, I seem to be jnana, knowledge, but inside I am a bhakta. I am very soft indeed, he says. I have the heart of a woman, he says, inside. So, what does it mean? I think it's true for all of us. All of us have elements of this knowledge and devotion, love and knowledge. Now, depending on what is expressed outside, people might categorize you as somebody on the path of knowledge. You might yourself categorize yourself as somebody on the path of knowledge. And the devotional aspect might be the love aspect might be a very private thing within you. Others might not see it, or might see less of it. Or the reverse might be true. That you might be regarded as a devotee, a person who loves and worships and adores God, and the knowledge aspect of it might be hidden, sort of at your core, an inner aspect of it. I think it was the great psychoanalyst Jung who pointed out that every person has the male and the female within themselves. Similarly, bhakti and jnana. One of Vivekananda's compositions about Sri Ramakrishna, it goes like this, that outside he put on the radiant cloth of bhakti. And inside, Advaya Tattva Samahita Chittam, his mind was constantly centered in the non-dual Brahman, Sri Ramakrishna. About Vivekananda, Swami Premeshanandaji wrote a song which has the names of Sri Ramakrishna, Ma Sharada, Vivekananda, and all the direct disciples of Sri Ramakrishna, and a descriptive word or two about each of them. About Vivekananda, Swami Premeshanandaji writes, Parama Dayala, one of a great heart, the tremendous compassion. So somebody asked Swami Premeshananda that we know Vivekananda is this great yogi, this dynamic worker, this great person of philosophy and knowledge. But why did you write Parama Dayala, of great compassion? And so Premeshanandaji replied that who had a heart like Vivekananda's, and you will realize as you go forward in life, he was all compassion for all of us. On a personal note, if I ask you, what do you think my preeminent disposition is? So you're laughing, it seems like a no-brainer, what the Americans call a no-brainer. So many people think, yes, my preeminent disposition is knowledge, the path of knowledge, the path of non-duality. I remember a very senior monk was one of my mentors who said to me long ago, more than 20 years ago, he said to me, stop doing that, this I am Brahman, Advaita, non-duality, your path is devotion. You are a bhakta inside. So, and the other point which was raised was that I have said that which is greater among the two, bhakti is the highest, in jnana there is no higher and lower. Actually, I was quoting a monk, a traditional non-dualist monk from the Himalayas, who was asked this question. So it was a provocative question, because he was clearly a non-dualist, Advaitin. He was asked in Hindi, Kaun badi, jnana ya bhakti? Who is greater, knowledge or devotion? And the monk's startling answer was, Bhakti badi hai. Devotion is, love is higher. And everybody was taken aback. They didn't expect that answer from that monk, because that monk is clearly someone on the path of knowledge. So they asked him, Bhakti badi hai to gyan kya hai? Well, if devotion, love is greater, then what about knowledge? And then the monk replied, Gyan mein koi bada chota nahi hota hai. In knowledge there is no higher or lower. See how beautifully he brought out the two sides. What is the most, I'll put it this way, provocatively. What is the most precious thing in life? What is the greatest thing in life one can achieve? The moment you achieve it, you will be permanently, unshakably fulfilled and happy. What's this most precious thing? It is love of God. Bhakti, devotion. And what about knowledge? Knowledge is truth. A monk put it this way. If you want to sleep peacefully at night, do karma yoga. Be selfless in life. You will have a great load off your back. Our selfishness is the load that we carry on our backs. And he says, if you want great peace of mind, practice Raja Yoga, deep meditation. If you want happiness, practice Bhakti Yoga. You will be immediately happy. Fall in love with God. You'll be immediately happy. But if you want truth, Jnana Yoga. The other part of the question was that in Gita, right?
Well, you mentioned that Jnana Yoga is the highest form of yoga, whereas in the Bhagavad Gita...
Yes. Yes.
In the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna states that Bhakti Yoga is the highest.
Right. This is a reference to the 12th chapter where Arjuna asks, so you have taught me these two paths, the path of the unmanifest of existence, consciousness, bliss, the pure consciousness, and the path of devotion to God. Which is higher? Who is the greater yogi? And Krishna in no uncertain terms says that the path of devotion is better. But he says not higher, he says it is easier. The path of attainment of the unmanifest, of pure consciousness, of realization of yourself as pure consciousness, Krishna says that it is attended to by greater difficulties. That's all. And then he also goes on to say that those who walk on the path of knowledge, or path of realization of I am Brahman, they too will attain the same reality. See, the insight of Sri Ramakrishna, Vivekananda was that these are different constitutions of our minds. Our spiritual life has it has not started in this life, contrary to whatever you might think. Many people come and say, I wish I had known about this earlier. You knew about it earlier. You've known about it in past lives. You've just come back to it again. So we have been developing in a particular way for a long time. So that accounts for our tendencies. So something might come much more easily to you. If it comes more easily to you, if it seems more real to you, it seems more live to you, then that's your path. That doesn't mean the other path is lower or less important. Another person might take to that path more easily. Our constitutions are a little different. And therefore, the path of bhakti might be suitable to many, many people. Path of jnana also might be suitable to many people. There are people who cannot believe in God straight away, unfortunately. They're skeptical. And with good reason. In this day and age, there are more and more such people. And I've seen a lot of people benefit from the path of knowledge. A lot of people. And I've seen a lot of people coming to the path of knowledge, drawn to that, getting some conviction in that, clarity in that, and then developing bhakti. That has also happened.